So there is a new buzzword circulating in the beauty world, one that sounds a bit wild at first. Have you heard of hair Botox? It's a hair treatment cleverly named for its anti-aging and smoothing results, but no need to worry, no needles are involved. Still confused? We've got Studio 5 style and beauty contributor Megan Moore here to fill us in. Hair Botox?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a buzzword. It's just something to get people's, perked up. Like, I've never heard of that. Yeah, but you're right. It doesn't have anything to do with needles. It doesn't have anything to do with neurotoxins that we use in real Botox. But the idea is that, yes, it's kind of an anti-aging, kind of a smoothing, or it's going to kind of wrinkle, iron out the wrinkles, right? That's the whole idea. And so, yeah, it's an in-salon treatment. You're going to get it, but it's not a specific name or brand name, right? It's kind of this umbrella term that because it's buzzy, but it includes any kind of treatment that's going to be in salon, that's going to do some repairing to damaged hair and give it that shiny kind of glossy finish.
What else might it be called? Or what else might a stylist be saying to you that would be categorized as this hair Botox? So
probably like a rebonder or rebuilding treatment is something that it's probably going to be more common in the salons right now. The hair Botox term has really just blown up in the last couple of weeks. So salons aren't really maybe using it in their terminology yet, but I think they will be. It kind of blew up because, Princess Kate, she's famous for her silky, shiny hair, right? Yes, yes. And so there was like this TikTok that went around that was like, oh, she gets hair Botox. And then it was like, it just went from there and everybody's like, what's hair Botox? What's hair Botox? And now it's funny because if you Google it, brands on Amazon have already slapped labels on bottles that say hair Botox, but that's not even a real thing, right?
Those marketers have to be quick on their toes.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
What about, we've talked about this before, like a glaze in a salon, does that?
Glaze is more on the side of like color, on a color service. It's a clear color to kind of coat the hair. These ones are going to be something that goes in more internally. So these are higher technology products. They're going to be a little bit higher price point, but because of that, you're going to get lasting results. So something that could be 4 to 6 weeks of results, whereas just a deep conditioner, which is what you would see on Amazon labeled that, or a glaze, those are kind of a different technology. Also different than like a keratin straightening treatment. We've seen those in the past, right? And those are more like a perm where it goes in and literally breaks the bonds and restructures them. So we go from something wavy to something straight. This isn't going to do any of that.
So I hear you saying if you really want to get what you want to get, go through a professional service, a licensed stylist. And then what does that look like at the salon? Is it just like a wash and rinse?
It's going to be, you can either add it onto a color and a cut, or it could be a standalone service. And there's different, again, different brands are going to have a different structure, but you're going to look for something that has at least 2 steps, right? So something, the one that we're showing right here uses kind of a plant-based protein for our strength, right? So something that's going to be a protein base for strength, and then they also are going to have some sort of finishing mask, which is going to have a lot of lipids in it, which is fats, right? And that's going to give the shine and the gloss and kind of the moisture that we're lacking sometimes in our hair. So these treatments are great for, like, say, a wedding, a big event. Maybe you've got a class reunion coming up, family photos. They're going to give your hair like the ultimate glossy finish.
Because you'll see it right away.
You'll see it right away, and you're going to get some lasting results out of it. Whereas if you're just doing a deep conditioner at home, those are going to feel great, look great, but they're temporary. As soon as you wash it out, it's gone.
How long will this last?
So some of the technology and some of these more, like the K18, you said you're a fan of that one, those can last up to 6 weeks for a professional treatment. The one I love and use the most at my salon is the Kevin Murphy, same thing, about 6 weeks. And then some of them are going to be closer to 2 to 4. So it just kind of depends on the technology that's being used.
And can you replicate this at home?
Not really, because these brands are making something that is more on the internal side of the hair. It's not something that you're going to just buy over the counter, right? So the price point's going to be higher, but again, you're going to get a lasting result.
You're just one step ahead of me always. What is the price point?
Totally depends, again, on what you're using. If it's something low end, it could be anywhere about $30. If it's on the high end, like, it could be over $100. So it just kind of depends on what your salon charges and what kind of technology they're using. So you're going to have to do a little research and asking around to see what you could get.
And is there any long-term damage to the hair, Megan? Like, we're going to see those instant results. It's going to feel good now. Like, pay any price later?
You have to be careful with protein, right? You can over-proteinize the hair and it actually, instead of strengthening, it goes past the strength point and now becomes brittle. So we're strengthening it at first, then we go too long, it can snap. So you do need to be careful. You want to make sure you're spacing anything with protein. You don't want to be overusing it. So we've seen that with people that like really love Olaplex or really love K18 and they're using it really too much, and then all of a sudden you're like, actually, I feel like I'm having more breakage. So you do want to space it out. I wouldn't do anything any closer than 6 weeks together.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You bet.
Super juicy and scoopy.
Right?
Which she always does for us, and you do that on your Instagram as well. Where can we get more beauty advice from you?
Yeah, come hang out with me on Instagram at BeautySnoop, and I'll have all these details and some resources of how you can find these salons on my blog, thebeautysnoop.com.
All right, we'll link you from our website too. Thanks, Megan.